Good morning. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. We are back again on another edition of this program. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure. And today I'm with Julde again. Not today, but yesterday we were here.
Yes.
And we are back again. How are you?
I'm okay, Alhamdulillah, Ibrahim. Good morning to you. Good morning to Mr. Ka and to our viewers. It's always good to be back.
Yes, it's always good to be back, Julde. And Mr. Ka is our newspaper review guest. Mr. Ka, good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at the African Code from the Code, the newspaper review. And after the newspaper review, we will talk to Lamin J. Dabo, our You and the Law segment. And the topic will be rights to privacy. I mean, it's important for us to discuss that with the legal practitioner, and he would be able to delve into it more. And rights, what rights does your society have in you? I mean, Alhaji Imam Usman Jah would be here, and we will be discussing, and it will be in the local language. That's Wolof. I mean, we would be able to, delve into that too. But first, we'll take a look at the African Code. Julde will allow you to read it.
So our African proverb this morning, it's a Wolof one, and it reads, "He who knows swimming dies not in the water."
He who knows swimming dies not in the water. Yeah.
That just simply means that you have to have the required skills to be able to execute whatever duties that you have. So if you know how to do something, you do it properly. Failure to know, then you start. Like they say, a bad worker blames his or her tools. So therefore, it's always good to learn and know how to do things, and then you do them properly. That is in a nutshell.
Exactly. There is a famous saying in the Fulani language. It's a proverb, and it says, "Kongaina ko tuti andi lajoru." You understand?
But it's deep for me.
Yes. How would I say it? I mean, the person who rears frogs. It's
frogs?
Yes. It's the person who knows the one that is limping.
The herdsman, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's the individual who knows the one that is limping on one leg.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So for us, we wouldn't know. So it kind of reminds me of that. Yeah. So it's telling you sometimes experience is very important. I mean, it's telling you if you learn to do something, obviously you become a master of it. You know, at the end of the time, probably the swimmer might die because of a heart attack or something, but not because of swimming or something. So it's telling more of an experience, gathering experience, learning. I mean, I don't think I don't know if I'm making sense.
All right, you are. For me, I think it's similar to Mr. Ka's interpretation. If someone is skilled, you're prepared, and you are knowledgeable in a particular area, it is very, very difficult for someone to, minor issues to distract you or disturb you when they arise. But if you are not knowledgeable in a particular area, that is the time you see like people making a lot of noise. And we've seen that recently, when things happen, like all the people, most of the people who go online to make noise and all of that can't even back it with something substantial. But people that have the knowledge of that particular subject matter are always very calm. You know, when the situation is not tense, that is the time they come with the wisdom and tell people this is what is really happening. So I think it's very, very important. Someone who is very, very knowledgeable, you don't see them anyhow or in every situation. They are always very calm because they know a lot. So if they say that if you know a lot, you say last. But if you, just like yesterday's proverb, empty barrels make the most noise. People who are not knowledgeable, people who do not have a lot to offer, have a lot of noise to make. I don't know, Mr. Kai.
For me, it's just be prepared.
Yes.
Going into anything.
Right.
Because preparedness will make sure that you will be able to deal with attendant issues.
Right.
So failure to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So if you cannot swim and you are faced with a situation where you have to, then you have to drown. But you are able to swim, you give yourself a chance of survival.
That's right.
So that chance comes because you are equipped with the required skills to do a certain task or responsibility. So always go prepared, always go equipped, and then you'll be able to perform your functions.
Speaking of swimming, recently we've seen a release by the Gambia Police Force where a young man drowned, a young child. And I think it's important for us to have a conversation around how to learn swimming. Maybe they can even put this in the extracurricular activities in schools for kids to be able to learn how to swim, because over the years we've seen a lot of drowning cases, both young people and then elder people, because they can't really swim.
Sometimes it's not the inability to swim that causes this. Sometimes the sea can be very rough. And because of young people, their judgment, sometimes they try to be very brave or try to be very mature when they go to the beach to show off, and aware that sometimes you don't know, because things change very quickly. So that is why sometimes they put the red flag on the beach to tell you that, you know, don't swim. So make sure that you just keep in mind, because the waves can be very wild. I used to be a good swimmer, but when I go to the beach now, I just stay by the, you know, because I realize that it pulls you so hard that, you know, it's just being mindful, especially when you go to the deep sea, to realize that things can change, and they can change very fast. The currents can change, and when that happens, you are in a situation where you compromise your safety. So yes, I think we invited the lifeguards the other day, and they spoke about it at length. So it's important to have the conversation with the lifeguards, and with this kind of events, even you as reporters, you can make a story out of it, so as to enlighten people regarding
Well, I'll also make a comment on the lifeguard. I think they are doing a very good job.
Absolutely, voluntarily as well.
They are doing it. The last time we interviewed them, we were there to see what they were doing, and they said, I mean, we are just doing this to make sure we protect lives. I mean, we are not doing it because we are paid or something. So I think they are very important there, and their job, you know, should be recognized. You know. So let's move on. On the Standard newspaper, we have Local Government Commission ends, Mr. Carr, with all the revelations on the Local Government Commission, financial dealings, and of course, some of the financial mismanagement. I mean, it's important for us to know what happened, where did this butut, I mean, how did they spend this money? So those are things that are very important, at least so that we can arrange ourselves and know where to start as a people.
Yeah, I think we have to commend the government setting up such a kind of, you know, commission, because we assume that the government would be on the side of the people as trustees of public funds. And what we have come to realize during the proceedings is failure of processes and procedures. So for most of it, and also the lack of synchronization between the local council and the state. So there are a lot of mismatches in terms of the laws. So they have to look at the laws, how they actually upgrade in certain instances, even make it more autonomous, the local councils also, and look at the processes and procedures of procurement and all these things. For me, those are the underlying issues that came out most. Yes, there are certain, you know, irregularities, fraudulence, but it's all because of the institutional failures. So how are they going to look into strengthening these things? So when commissions are set up, I presume the government is doing it because they are on the side of the people in order to protect and prevent those activities that will take away from the people what belongs to the people. So those are the lessons that for me.
Well, Mr. Carr, what do you think should be done? I mean, to make sure financial leakages, I mean, is controlled. You know, when we talk about this, people think about how to use, I mean, latest technology to make sure certain financial payments are made through, I mean, those things.
That's what I said. Processes must be strengthened. Institutions must be empowered. Consequences have to be there as well, where there is, you know, found for people to be wanting in terms of executing their duties or they're being fraudulent, there has to be consequences. But the institutions must be strengthened. What do you think?
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I mean, it's one thing to have a commission and people to know the facts, but also it's another for the government to act upon those recommendations. As we have seen, you know, what is really happening, especially with the TRRC, for example, out of the 263 recommendations, only 16 have been fully implemented so far. And we have also seen what is happening with the Janneh Commission. Now there is a National Assembly inquiry into that, into Jammeh's assets. So, you know, it's good that this is a step in the right direction, that people are knowing the truth. And obviously what we have seen in the commission, it's a lot of irregularities. We have seen missing vouchers. We have seen the cases of nepotism. We have seen the issue of people appointing people illegally. We've seen all illegal transactions that and partisan issues that are happening also, especially, you know, with regards to some of these councils. But again, it's a good thing that we know, but recommendations, when they are made, I think it's important that for government to actually implement them. I know implementation phase takes a lot of time, you know, for people to actually implement these things, because it requires a lot of things, technical expertise, it requires human resources, it requires money, it requires time and all of that. But again, it's the commitment to get things done. That is the most important.
I think absolutely you are bang on the money there. I think we all come to appreciate that. It's important because it has opened a window through which we can see what is happening. And this is just a microcosm of what is happening in many other institutions. I can assure you that if this was replicated, we would have found the same kind of failures and in most institutions. So this is a learning thing for the government, where they should be able to assert their responsibility, put in measures so that they can, you know, avoid all these wastages which they could recoup and then plow into services and other areas for development.
Absolutely. And what we have seen, Mr. Carr, one thing that I observe in this local government commission is that there is a huge disconnect between the local government and central government, you know, which is very evident in this. And I think maybe they will include that as part of the recommendations, you know, too, because when there is disconnect, development becomes very difficult. Because 60% of the proceeds that the local councils have should be plowed back to the community. But most of that, as evident in what some of the witnesses said, it's not been given back to the people.
It's very politicized.
It is
and
very
when it becomes partisan, then the people lose out, because you will have the state sometimes in the most trivial of issues, they will be, you know, exchanging, you know, showcasing their might and all that, and that doesn't help. So when development is there, the priorities should be to target the people. So the partisan aspect should cease immediately after the elections. And the institutions must be revisited to see how they reconstruct the Local Government Act, more autonomy, allow them to work, and also make sure that less intrusion of the
watching the Local Government Commission, it looks like the CEOs seems to have a lot of power and voice as far as the councils are concerned. So I think being partisan sometimes can really affect, I mean, the work they do.
Absolutely.
Yes. So Mandinering youth petition government over death of Omar Baji.
Yeah, we know, we have witnessed what has happened. So it's a very sad incident. Again, it was good that the president came out and spoke, and spoke on the side of the people, that they will institute, you know, a commission, or they will have, you know, the state look into what has happened, and those, because, you know, I mean, after the 22 years of Jammeh, transition have to take place, and people must feel it and see it. Yes, law and order has to be there, but they have to balance it in such a way that, you know, and this bring into question a lot of other issues as well. The issue of cannabis should be discussed, sentencing tariffs, and all these young people languishing in jail when the people are observing. There are a lot of things that they should be looking into with regard to this particular unfortunate event.
Absolutely. I mean, Mr. Carr nailed it. it's important to set our priorities right. And you know, some of these things, it's so minor that you tell, is it really worth all this commotion? Because we've seen bigger issues happening, and if they are neglected and we are focusing on the smaller issues, tells a lot about where our priorities are as a country or as a people. So I think it's very, very important. So in as much as it's there, right, and the president came out to, you know, assure people that there will be justice, and he cautioned young people that even though they allowed for free protests to take place, but again, it should be in accordance with the law. And I think that is very, very important. So let us just, hence now the matter is in court, let us just allow due process to take its place. You know, hopefully we will have the results very soon.
But the law is always both the public and the police. It
right.
doesn't just apply to the public.
Right.
So that is why it's important that they understand this.
Right.
That, you know, everybody have to work in tandem to ensure stability and social cohesion. Because where society fails and there is disconnect, then it ruptures, and we have seen what has happened in many countries. Woe betide. We don't wish that to come to the Gambia, but they have to manage it. They have to manage all these things. It's a very difficult balancing act, but it's doable with sincerity and, you know, transparency.
So Fonyin Nams accused ruling majority for shelving government. I mean,
well, government in the National Assembly, that is how it functions. You have to have the National Assembly members having to defend, you know, the political party from which they come from. And that is why they are there, because they are there on the programs. I know people argue that, you know, you have to represent, you cannot look, but you have to, we have seen it all over the world, defend the programs of your party.
Right.
And, you know, the party's interest. We have seen it during the, you know, the debate with regard to the draft constitution. It was very partisan. So some things are so obvious that they are needless to say that, you know.
Absolutely. All right, still on the Standards newspaper, I mean, we have Dr. Salah claims his property seized by Jammeh not returned.
I don't know much about that, definitely, so I cannot comment deeply.
That's right.
All right. So we also have Barrow urged to act decisively to rescue Gambia by Mahdi Jobati.
Mahdi is a civil rights activist, you know, who is, you know, complaining about certain things, and so, you know, they will have to have some issues that they will have to exchange with regard to vis-a-vis the government, and then
So, Mr. Ka, we've also seen recently there is a lot of road maintenance by the National Road Authority. Sometimes it's important when these people are not doing good jobs, we talk about it. But once they are doing good jobs too, it's important for us to recognize it. I mean, I can see along the route on the Mamadi Mandang Highway, you can see how they are maintaining some of the badly or route conditions. I mean, I think these are things that should be done to make sure we maintain our roads.
Gambia, one thing that is a problem is maintenance. We don't factor it when we do things. So you leave things and they degrade over a period. And, you know, it will cost you twice the amount that you initially spent because you don't put a maintenance system in the whole thing. When you have buildings, you don't paint them naturally. They will decay and dilapidate. When you have your toilets, you don't change them. So you just have to inbuild that culture of maintenance into what we do, and that will keep it serving for a longer time rather than just building something and then finish with it. Once a small hole and it's not attended to, it becomes a bigger hole. Ultimately, you have to spend more. So once it becomes a small hole, intervene early, and so also look into the quality and standard of the roads that are being constructed. What are their lifespan? Why do they not serve certain particular lifespan for which they should tell us this road was guaranteed to serve 5, 10 years? Then we will know that after 10 years, we expect that, you know, there will be some potholes and it will be adjusted or something like that.
Absolutely. I mean, that is right. If people are told that this is a lifespan of a particular road, they will be able to know, and they will be able to, even the media will help the government, remind the government it's time to maintenance this road. But without which people are lost and they don't know what is happening. And that is why you see a lot of allegations, especially with the Ibo Town road. We've seen that when it rains, you see that you see a lot of potholes there, and people started questioning, is this not the new road that was just commissioned? So I mean, some of these things you wonder, and it allows for a lot of misinformation to be peddled around if government did not communicate. So I think communication is very, very important, and maintenance is key. I mean, we've seen recently a lot of infrastructural development happening, going on, but again, without maintenance, it's a problem. It becomes really problematic for the people, and then you sit when the damage has already been done. That is the time you spent a lot of money to renovate that particular area. So before that,
there is a proverb in English. They say, buy cheap, buy twice. So if you buy something cheap, make sure that you will. So they have to really inbuild the culture of maintenance into, especially when it comes to roads.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do we have any other story?
Let's talk about river transport. I mean, Saturday I was at Denton Bridge. You know, I was really fascinated when we used the boat to Lamen Lodge. You know, then I realized, why not we try and introduce river transport? Why not we have boats that will ply between Denton Bridge and Lamen Lodge? Maybe those living in Lamen or other areas can come up to Lamen Lodge, then go to Banjul for work. It's possible.
I think I once heard Minister Silla, said that they're looking to revive that.
Yes.
I mean, river transport is very important. If you look at the Gambia in the past, most of the thriving towns were wharf towns. You know, businesses were there. It was brisk. You find a lot of shops, a lot of economic activities, because the wharf towns, you know, we're very busy, because we had a big ship plying from Banjul to Basse at the time. And then, you know, as they go along, they stop at anywhere they come, there is a lot of business and trading, just like Lumo. And then you have some of the big shops at the time, Moreland Prom and AC, all these things were located, and there was a lot of trading. So it can be a win-win. You will revive the economy of those and even the wharf towns. And also it can be a touristic, something. You can have like these boats, So there is a lot that we can benefit from the River Gambia by reviving river transport. And some of the heavy stuff also that you carry, it can be cheaper. Like when you want to carry a lot of sugar or rice rather than using the road. I know it's faster, it takes longer, but it would be cheaper to transport it by boat, and then it gets there. So that can also affect prices of commodities, because you're adding value of the cost of transportation to your goods and making the cost higher into the interior. So there are economic benefits that can be gained through reviving.
Definitely, it's really doable. Considering the proximity, I mean, between Banjul and the way it's located. I mean, I think we can.
The river is beautiful as well. You see the beauty of the mangroves, the flora, the fauna, the animals that live there, the tributaries. Gambia, we have a very beautiful scenery that definitely we can exploit to sell to the world. So we have to do a better job of it, and so they will look into it, coming up with policies that are deliberately designed to address and look into those issues, and it can be a transformative.
So speaking of policies, I think there is already an existing framework that has been prepared by the Tourism Diversification and Resilience in the Gambia project, which is looking at jetties, in the river to ensure that it is enhanced. And like you mentioned again, the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure has already commenced a project aimed at ensuring that there is more river transportation in the Gambia. So all of these things are geared towards ensuring that people have access to, because the river Gambia is very, very important. And there is a World Bank report which I reported on last year that says that the river Gambia has been underutilized.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, there is a lot that could be done as far as the river is concerned. But hopefully with all these projects and all these strategic frameworks in place, that we will utilize the river Gambia.
And surprisingly, when we went to Lamen Lodge, we met boats there, different boats. And when I asked one of the guys, he said, okay, these are boats from Europe, and most of them, their owners will come, park them here. This is where they live. They have everything inside. We met almost 20 of them. You know, so what they do, they take these small boats and canoes and go to the town, then come back and stay in those boats. So you can see how they are exploring.
So it could be marketed, like we say, but they have to have a very comprehensive framework upon which they design it really to sell it. That is one aspect that they can, people, that are, having a lot of money with yachts, they can come coast there. And then, because it's navigable, the thing is the river is navigable all the way. So, and there are lots of bird watchers interested in coming. And we have a variety of birds as well. Gambia is known for that because of, the savanna grassland. We have a lot of, these things that birds. And also we have on the river, we have animals like the hippopotamuses, which we don't even showcase in Zambia. The other day, don't know much about.
When I said to Ade, we have the pelican bird here.
We do.
And Ade was surprised to know we have the pelican. And
we do.
If you go to Katong, you see the pelican.
We do. We are not really marketing it in that aspect. Like I said, the wharf towns were very brisk when it comes to business. They can revive all these things by having a very structured framework of, river transport. Wharf towns were very popular. If you look at the Kosemars, if you look at Kaur, if you look at Basse, all these things were thriving communities with a lot of businesses. But it shifted to the roads because the river transport was completely neglected. So I think it's something that they could revive with very deliberate policies that are designed to attract, people, and also even local people. Sometimes you have holidays, you want to take your kids
domestic
to
tourism.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Mr. Ka. Thank you very much. We've exhausted this segment
already.
We'll allow you to go take your coffee. Yeah. So viewers, will be right back after the break.
Opticalia, Gambia's leader in optical care, with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia or call us on 7767-121 or at any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Farafenni 7767-124, Basse 7767-125. Opticalia, love what you see and hear.
Gambia, are you ready for something big?
From your trusted GSM operator, QCell, your favorite app just got a major upgrade.
From your phone to the world, buy credit, buy Sunu bundle packages, loan credit with eFankanta, and buy Q Power all in one place.
And here's the real upgrade. Q Money is now fully integrated in the app. Send money, pay bills, save money, so faster and easier than ever.
And for our entertainment lovers, stream QTV, Q Radio Live anytime, anywhere.
But that's not all. This upgrade also brings enhanced security features, smoother performance, and a brand new interface designed to save your time.
This is more than an app.
This is freedom at your fingertips.
Download the new QCell app today and unlock your digital life.
For more information, call our customer care on 111.
QCell, Sunubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Q Money.
We are back. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Obalde and I'm with Julden Jai. Now let's move on to the You and the Law segment. And we have Counsel Lamin J. Dabo. And we will be talking about the right to privacy. Mr. Dabo, you're welcome on the program.
Thank you.
It's always good to have you here.
Thank you.
I mean, thank you for honoring our invitations all the time.
Thank you.
Yes. So this is a topic that we'll be discussing on this segment, right to privacy. So we want to delve into it so that people can understand what are the rights of individuals as far as privacy is concerned. So we will ask you, what is right to privacy, sir?
Well, right to privacy is a constitutional provision. It's in the Constitution and is so important that it is entrenched. In other words, the National Assembly by itself and the President cannot change the right to privacy as stipulated in the Constitution of the Gambia 1997. So that tells you how important it is. If you want to remove it from the Constitution, you have to go for a referendum. So the National Assembly, the President, and the people have to decide that they don't want the right to privacy before you can remove it from the Constitution. So that makes it, or puts it in the category of freedoms that are so highly protected that you cannot touch them unless the people themselves say, we agree with the National Assembly, we don't want the right to privacy. And no people will say that, absolutely. Definitely. Because, so the right to privacy, I can read the constitutional provision here so that it can be clear. It says that no person shall be subject to interference with the privacy of his home, correspondence, or communications. So your home, your correspondence, that is letters and everything, and communications, your mobile phones, your tablets, your emails, everything. Nobody should be subject to interference with those by the government. So it's very, very important. Except, of course, obviously, because if you give absolute privacy, it will interfere with other things. Except as in accordance with the law and is necessary in a democratic society in the interest of national security. So that is very important because that is the protection of the country itself. Yeah. Public safety, the safety of the public, or the economic well-being of the country. You cannot interfere with that also. So if you do that, and you want to, any of this, and you want to insist on your privacy, the law will not, there will be a balancing test. Okay. But if it is clear that that is what you are doing, the law will not protect your privacy in those areas. Because what is privacy if there is no country? Yeah. True. So, yeah. The economic well-being of the country for the protection of health or morals. Yes, if you are making, if you are part of a plot to cause a public health hazard in the country, obviously nobody is going to give you privacy as far as those things are concerned. Or for the prevention of disorder or crime. If you are suspected of being part, seriously suspected, of being part of wanting to create disorder and crime in the country, or you have committed them and you are hiding behind your privacy, again, nobody is going to pay attention to that. Yeah. Or the protection of the rights and freedoms of others. Rights and freedoms of others, of course, they put those things there. But here, we are talking about government's interference in some of these things, because these things are done mostly by the government. Yeah. So, and Section 2 of the privacy provision says searches of the person or the home of individuals can only be justified. That is, you know, as a police officer, I cannot meet you on the streets, you are just minding your business. I know very well you've not committed any crime. Yeah. And, you know, there has been no criminal activity in the area where you were passing through. So there shouldn't be any reason why I should stop you and ask that I search you. If you say no, then obviously I shouldn't be able to do that because there is no emergency. Yes. If you take the risk and arrest the person on no probable basis, obviously you can be in trouble too as a police officer. But so the Section 2 says, but nevertheless, they can be justified, that is the individual and the home, if they're a judge or a magistrate, is said competent judicial authority allowed that to happen. If the judge or magistrate says yes, so the judge or magistrate doesn't know you. The reason why a judge or magistrate would say yes would be because maybe the police reported you to the judge or magistrate and said, you know, we want to search his home for, we believe he's harboring this and this, or he's manufacturing cannabis in his home and processing cannabis in his home, or engage in drug trafficking. We know the drugs are in his home, and we have really credible evidence to that effect. In those circumstances, if the judge or the magistrate, but mainly a judge, is convinced, then yeah, that's...
But I wonder, I mean, sometimes it doesn't happen like that. I mean, people can walk up to people and start searching them anyhow, or sometimes you get into people's homes and start searching even houses. You know, you know, for me, I am a fan of investigation movies. I watch them a lot. So I can see most of the time when investigations are on, if a judge did not give the go-ahead to arrest someone or to search someone, or a search warrant is not issued or something, they won't do anything about that. But sometimes it's different in other countries. People can just go and start searching people or invading their privacy without any legal, I mean, authority. Yes.
Well, that is also allowed, but under very exceptional circumstances. If there is credible suspicion, that you are about to commit a crime, or that you are keeping something in your home that would enable you to commit criminal activity, or you have prohibited items like drugs, weapons, and things like that in your home. But they have to have a very high level of certainty that that indeed is the case. So nobody can just say, okay, I don't like this person, I'll go to a court and lie to a judge, swear to an affidavit and all that, lie to a judge so that I can get an authorization to search. It will come back to you. I mean, except, of course, where the system is completely lawless. And that does happen as well. You know, you do that, and somebody then takes you to court and nothing comes out of it. You know, but that should not happen. As you can see, this is an entrenched constitutional clause. So it's very, very important. Privacy is very important. We don't want other people going into people's homes, you know, to see what they are doing here just out of curiosity. Yes, nobody should allow that to happen. The law cannot allow that to happen.
So, Counsel, in as much as this particular provision is very, very important, but it is without limitations. Like you mentioned, it's the limitations are in accordance with the law. You have reasonably necessary in a democratic state for national security, public safety, or the public morality or health, and the protection of the rights and freedom of others. When you talk about necessary in accordance in a democratic state as part of the limitations, who is there to test this in practice?
Well, in practice, law enforcement, obviously. In the Gambia here, we can say the police would have the authority to report that you are suspected of either having committed or about to commit a crime. If they have credible evidence, then they can go to a judge and get a search warrant. Those are the safeguards, the controls.
Okay.
And those controls are necessary. You have to go to a judge. A judge is, in our constitutional system, a judge is a referee. He's not working for the state, or she's not working for the government. She's just working she's just working for the state, not for the executive arm of government. So if you have a dispute with the police, who are working for the executive arm of government, the constitutional system is arranged in such a way that, you know, they have to go to a judge, even though we know the police have wide powers. But they have to go to a judge. A judge is seen to be someone who is part of the referee system. The referee system in the country is the courts, the court system, from the magistrates all the way to the Supreme Court. They referee disputes between the citizen and the state.
Okay.
So if the judge believes what the police said, then it's incumbent on the judge to grant your application. But if it is not true, you just lied and you know you were lying to a judge, then there will be consequences.
Still speaking of the issue of limitations, as far as the clause is concerned, there is the phrase of public morality. And isn't this too vague to justify limiting privacy? Is it not limiting privacy?
Well, it probably is, but when you talk about public morality, again, you have to justify to the judge what this public morality is. You cannot say, oh, you know, boys and girls are sitting over there and talking dirty throughout the night and all that. I don't think that is the kind of morality they are talking about here.
Okay.
Yes, it has to be really far, far more than that. Say, for example, public morality that is prescribed by the law. Yes, for example, if you don't have a license, but you are secretly operating, you know, a brothel kind of in a neighborhood where families and their children are living, obviously, that would be part of that. Certain facilities cannot be located inside residential areas, especially residential in the sense of families.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would be a situational matter. It would depend on the particular facts of the case. So you, if those facts are compelling enough for a judge to give you a search warrant, maybe you'll be granted a search warrant. Otherwise, if you are unable to persuade the judge, you wouldn't get your search warrant. And if you didn't get your search warrant and you went ahead and searched anyway, you committed a crime. Yeah, never mind, you are part of law enforcement.
No. Okay.
There are circumstances where, you know, there are emergencies around particular circumstances.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. You know that people are about to commit a major offense against national security. Yes, and you are aware that guns and other weapons are located in a particular place. Yes, if the police are truly convinced, they can go and abort that process, and then they will go to court later, or you can take them to court. If the judge realizes that what the police did was within the parameters of their powers, then nothing happens. Yeah.
So then, in that case, can a citizen access the records to know if their rights to privacy has been violated, especially by state agencies?
If they can access?
If a citizen, for instance, can you access records of yourself to know data about yourself, to know whether your rights to privacy have been violated by state agencies?
Okay. Well, you know, it is the right to privacy there. There has to be the actual intrusion.
Okay.
Yes, there has to be the actual intrusion. But of course, surveillance also can constitute intrusion. Yeah, you have cameras around the home. That is very serious because you're going to see a lot of things if you do that. What would be the justification to do that? Yeah, is there a justification for that kind of conduct? I'll be very surprised.
So, I mean, employer-employee relation. Can an employer monitor the conversation of an employee? Do they have that right?
It would depend on the context. If the employee is using the facilities of the employer to do things which are unlawful, maybe, but the way you can do that is maybe, you know, go through your own phone records, not the employee's phone records. You cannot do that. You can go through your own phone records and say, this big expense, who was responsible for this? Why was he calling this number? That is not the privacy interest that has been protected here. The privacy interest that has been protected is, you know, a privacy interest relating specifically to you, and especially where state agents are concerned. But if you are abusing your rights within in the workplace, that would be different, because you are using the facilities of your employer to be doing things which may be not necessarily illegal as far as the state system is concerned, but is of course detrimental to the interest of the employer. Yeah.
So let's talk about technology, recordings. You know, maybe I call Julde and, you know, start recording that conversation, then share it. What did the law say about that?
Yeah, that's very, very dangerous because about a few months ago, the court in Basse sentenced somebody to, is it 3 or 4, 5 years in prison because a relationship broke down and, you know, pictures that were taken probably without the knowledge of the other party and the relationship were shared. And obviously you can face serious issues as far as that is concerned. Yeah, people should not be encouraged to do that. These things are normally restrictions on state power, the deployment of state power. But of course, if you do it in a private relationship, and action is taken against you because you committed a crime, not necessarily a privacy crime, but privacy will come into it. It can come into it. You are probably going to be prosecuted under a different law, but privacy protection will come into it, and it will count against you. You have no right to do that. Yeah.
With this advent of this digital age and all of that, with the advent of mobile wallet services, and you have telecom companies in the Gambia collecting and storing citizens' data, what is your opinion to that?
Well, I believe, because if you recall, maybe about 10, 15 years ago, you know, telecom service providers were not required to take anybody's details. But you would recall that was reversed. Anybody who has a QCell number and they don't know your identity, you come and regularize it, or your number would be stopped. Same for Africell and other companies. That is part of, unless of course the companies abuse it, that is part of the state infrastructure, yes, for protecting the national security of the country. Yeah, because you can use that mobile to commit an offense and nobody can track it to you because there is no identity behind the number. Yeah, you just went out and buy a SIM card and use that SIM card to commit a crime. Yeah, so really that is part of national security protection. Yeah.
So what about the relation in the house, wife and husband? What did the law say about privacy, conversation? I mean, the gadgets, I mean, using it to listen to maybe your husband's conversation or your wife's conversation without the approval of the other individual.
I think we just addressed that in the Basse case. You know, maybe it wouldn't trigger any issues under normal circumstances, but if the relationship breaks down and you then want to use what you know about the other party against him or her, you are, you know, on very precarious territory there. Yes, because you are very, very close to committing a crime. Yeah, you know, people do it, but you know, in the home, certain things is better not to even know them. Yeah, than to pursue things that would ultimately result in legal action being taken against you. Yeah.
So do you think the current judiciary institutionally is strong and independent enough to strike down laws or executive actions that infringe on privacy in the country?
Yes, yes, they do it all the time. They do, well, not necessarily privacy, but you know, privacy affects everybody, including judges, isn't it? Yeah, it's a human situation. Yeah, so obviously nobody would allow you to get away with offenses in that area because it affects everybody, whether you are a judge or a magistrate or a police officer or the Inspector General of Police. You know, privacy protects everybody. Yeah, because there are certain things that all human beings do. So who would want that aspect of your life, certain aspects, they're natural, but who would want that to be watched by everybody? Yeah, and this is why it is so important that the government itself, you know, with all their amendments and all that stuff, they cannot amend any of the fundamental freedoms and the Chapter 4 of the current Constitution. They wouldn't even try. There is no mechanism. You have to go to the people and say, oh, we want to be watching you in your home. Who will agree to that?
Nobody's going to allow that.
Yeah. Even your most partisan supporters will not agree to that. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Wow.
So thank you very much, Council Lamin J. Dabo, for coming on the program. We've exhausted this segment.
Yeah,
thank you very much for always willing. You know, when we call, even last minute, you are always there. But we will try to inform you at least in lieu of notice.
Yes. Right.
So thank you very much, sir.
I'm very grateful, Mr. Balde. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, viewers, we'll be right back after the break.
QMoney is changing the game with mobile money payment. Now, you can pay your QCell mobile broadband plan faster, easier, and way more convenient with your QMoney wallet. Just open the QMoney app or dial *323#. Select option 4 to buy or pay your broadband plan in seconds. No stress, no lines, no last-minute panic. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows, browsing the web, or working from home, stay connected without missing a beat. Stay connected the easy way with QMoney's QCell mobile broadband payments anytime, anywhere. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Senior Culprit. Terms and conditions apply.
QMoney and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your QMoney wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your QMoney account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia, now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sinubus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply. Browse Bitus. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25. Yes! Recharge $25 and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse Bitus promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Ajibank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Ajibank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Ajibank, your investment partner.
We are back. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Obalde. Now let's move to the last segment of this program, and we'll be talking to Alhaji Usman Jah, Imam Masjid Taqwa. And of course, we'll be talking about what rights does your society have in you. Imam, ñu ngi la dalal ci programme bi. Ñu ngi la ne bismillah. Jërëjëf. saa suñ la ooyee rek yaa ngi pare pour ñëw waxtaan ak ñun.
jërëjëf Mr Weltare ñu ngi lay delloo nuyoo ñu nit ñu di la nuyu bu baax ci sa jotaay ak sa yitte bi nga am ci réew mi bépp feebar boo xam ne am na ci réew mi rek da nga ko bëgg mu faju te da nga woo docteur bi ko war a faj wala bi war a prescribe médecine bi koy faj. dëgg-dëgg yéen a ngi contribute ci nation development. yal na yàlla taxaw leen di nuyu soxna Julde Ndiaye ak mboolem ñi nga xam ne da ngay toog ak ñoom fii ci plateforme bi.
jërëjëf jërëjëf tey nag topic bu ñoo waxtaan mooy lan mooy àq bi nga xam ne sa society bi am nañ ko si yow maanaam yow sa warugal si sa society loolu lañ bëgg a waxtaan. dañ bëggoon ñu indi si ay yaatal imam.
jërëjëf jërëjëf Mr Weltare. sa laaj bi nga laaj nii tey bépp citizen war na koo laaj boppam. waaye nit ñi li ëpp si ñoom opposite bi la ñuy laaj seen bopp mooy lan la ma society bi defal. lan la ma réew mi defal. waaye du ñuy laaj seen bopp ñoom lan lañ defal society bi ak lan lañ defal réew mi kon sa laaju tey bi laaj bu am solo la society collective yi benn la benn ñoo boolantoo mu mujj nekk society benn yooyu ñooy cëri society jëmm la benn yooyu ñooy cër yi su fekkoon ne ni nga ko soo ko nataalee comme nit society jëmm la benn nit ñi ñooy cër yi su boobaa cër ci jëmm bu ne dafa am fonction dafa am lu ko tax a jóg su feebaree jëmm ji yëpp feebar su demee ci kanam su yokkoo jëmm ji yëpp yokkoo misaal bi ci gën a jege rek da nga koy jël ci suñ jëmm yi rek sa baaraam bi li muy tuuti tuuti soo ko compare ak li des ci jëmm ji soo ci amoon tuuti rek dig gu la jam fii tuuti rek dootoo mën a tee nelaw su defoon tuuti néewi dootoo mën a tee nelaw lan la baaraam bi jotee ak sa biir bi dootoo mën a lekk dootoo mën a xool bu baax dootoo mën a wax bu baax soo noonu la jëmm june loolu la war a def ci société jëmm june ci ñun dafa war a jàpp ne liy baaxal société moom la war li koy yàq moom la war su ko jëmm yépp defee société baax su ko ñëpp defut société yépp yàqu su ñi ko ñàkkee def bare société bi li ci yàqu dafay bare li may njëkk a digal sama bopp ak képp koo xam ne mu ngi ci société bi mooy nga def sa bopp ne yaa responsible yow la yàlla sas ci sa doq gi pour lépp luy baaxal société kenn ku ci nekk nag ak sa manin nga defee ko noonu moo tax sang bi Moustapha sallallahu taala alayhi wa sallam mi nga xam ne ci moom la ñuy roy moom jàngal nañu lii bu yàgg daf ñu wax ne ñu képp kuy dund ci société gis lu ci yàqu sa warugar la pour nga defar lay yàqu wala nga fexe ba yàqu-yàqu bu mu fi am mu mel ni dañ ko laaj naka lañ koy defaree mu ne dafa dépend ci sa position ci société su fekkee kuy fas di fecc nga borom ndombo tànk nga da ngay jëfandikoo sa doole pour taxawal liy yàq jëfandikoo sa doole indi luy defar su fekkee amuloo ndombo tànk boobu waaye am nga làmmeñ te mën a wax nga jëfandikoo sa làmmeñ di wax ndax ñi nga xam ne ñooy yàq société suñ ko déggee ñu bàyyi li ñuy yàq mu ne su fekkee am mënoo a wax meaning ne xam nga duut ku nekk mën a wax tey feebar bii ñuy waxtaanee yaa ngi ma woo ngir ne niti diine lañ ma boole am na ku fi jógee léegi mbiri loi lañ doon wax yaa ngi wookale ngir ne niti loi la am na koo xam ne duut ci yi benn moom jàngu dara waaye xam na ne yàqu-yàqu bi baaxut kooku na ko metti ci xolam bul ko def te metti la ci sa xol su ñëpp defee nii société dafay defaru waaye su ko ñëpp bàyyee société yàqu te amul kenn koo xam ne tële nga lépp koo fi gis rek am na lum ci man loo xam ne mën nga ko def ci société for exemple nañ jël ci defar société benn fànn for exemple nañ jël tàmbalee ci environment société bi bokk na ci li koy defar mooy ñu am clean environment for exemple lan mooy sa warugar yow individual bi nga pour nga bokk ci ñi clean environment bi mooy bu ko tilimal full stop di moment tilimaluloo environment rek yaa ngi koy setal ndax li yàq environment mooy tilim yow nga dogu ne man duma tilimal environment kon yaa ngi koy setal doo lekk banaana mu ko xolli ko sànni ko ci mbedd doo dajji sa potam meew sànni ci mbedd doo tufli sax place bu ne nga jéggal ma doo seben place bu ne doo jël këyit wala anything wala lu manti doon nga sànni ko ci mbedd kon yow yaa ngi dimbale société waaye suñ demee ba defoo ko it waaye am na ku ko def yow nga yëkkati ko teg ko fañ ko war a teg nga gis xollitu banaana buñ teg fuñ warta teg nga yëkkati ko yow dem dugal ko ci dugal ko fiñ ko war a dugal kon yow yaa ngi contribute ci cleanliness
society
te loolu dafa defar society loolu maa ngi ci joxe rek exemple ci wàllu loolu nga ñëwati ci wàllu jikko yi for exemple ku nekk lu baax ñëpp a ko xam soo ñëwee ci yonent bi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mi nga xam ne mooy suñu sëriñ dafa wax ne lu baax ñëpp a ko xam lu bon ñëpp a ko xam
waaw
waaye nag ci diggante mbaax ak mbon mu ne am na fa loo xam ne boroom xam-xam yi rek a ko xam ñi jàng ñoo ko xam waaye li ëpp a doole ci mbon ñëpp xam nañ ko li ëpp a doole ci mbaax ñëpp xam nañ ko su boobaa yow mii weltaare kenn boolewut la ci imaam yee ustaas yi waaye li tax tey nga dima woo li tax tey ngay woo ki fi jógee mooy dafa am yàqu-yàqu boo xam ne yow ci sa bopp xam nga ne yàqu-yàqu la waaye comme que nekkuloo expert ci bunta boobu nga ut koo xam ne su waxee ñu déglu ko waaye yow moom mucc nga ca loola ngir xam nga ne lu bon la yow doo ko def good su boobaa lu nekk noonu lañ koy tëddalee jikko yu bon yii yow yaa ngi ci bay saw laaj mooy saa yoo gisee lu ñaaw rek da nga oo expert mu waxtaan ci loola ndax nit ñi mën koo bàyyi ki nga oo boo ko ooxutoon it moom waru garam la pour mu wax pour génnee loola loolu moo tax imaam yi ci seen xutba yi bés àjjuma ju jot ñu ngi seet lan moo dox ci société bi ci week bii nii su ko defee ñu adresse ko ndax ñi doon julli yëpp ak ñi doon déglu ñëpp kenn ku ci ne dellu ak sa kër ànd ak naka bopp boo xam ne set na wecc ci questions yi nga xam ne moo nekkoon ci sa bopp bi programme yi radio yi programme yi télévision yi tafsiri alquran yi yëpp foo ci waxee ba romba jikko yàqu-yàqu rek il faut nga taxaw ci adresse ko bu baax ndax ñi koy dégg man caa génn te loolu mooy ci yaatal waaye su ñuy defar society ci fa nga ko war a njëkk a tàmbalee mooy fexe ba society bu tilim te bu boobaa mooy sa doom ji ci kër gi nga fexe ba yar ko ci jikko yoo xam ne moom du pollute society xam nga su fekkee xale bi su génnee ci kër gi dafa génnee xaale jikko bu bon jikko boobu moom la moo tilimalee moom itam society bi ndax su dajee ak moromam moomu daf koy roy ci moom kon yow su fekkee ne sa xale bi suy génne ci kër gi defar nga jikkoom moom su génnee lim génnee waale mooy jikkoom bu rafet boobu jikkoom boobu moom la moo jaay ci biti keneen di ci jël su boobaa yow yaa ngi defar society kon dafa mel ni su ñuy defar society li ñuy njëkk a tàmbalee mooy defar biir kër gi suñ defaree biir kër gi lépp lu fay jógee dafay doon njariñ waaye comme que yàqute forcé mu xew comme que du ne ñëpp ñooy defar seen biir kër te ñëppay génn ci mbedd mi kon ñu ngi séntu ne mbedd mi itam dana am yàqu-yàqu bu fa ne mbedd mi itam dafa am ku ko responsible kooku tam mu def liggéeyam bépp yàqu-yàqu boo xam ne bu xew ci mbedd mi la mu gis ne loolu nekkatu fi maanaam fi ne nii waroon nañoo mën a am ay loi yuñ tëral yoo xam ne képp ku sànni lita li ñoo tuddee littering nga sànni dara ci mbedd war nañ laa mun a def ay yar
loi yooyu yaa ngi fa sax waaye duñ ko def follow
ñu implement ko ba nga xam ne kenn dootu ko defati par exemple yooyu yëpp suñ ko doon def su fekkoon kenn ku ci ne fi nga war a taxaw nga fa konoon lépp defaru kon lépp lu yàqu la ko waral mooy ñi war a taxaw fañ war a taxawuñ fa waaye suñ ko defoon rek lépp dafay defaru man foofu laa gis ne noonu la mbir mi war a tàmbalee
léegi looking at modern society buñ nekk nii dangaa gis ne léegi naka la nit ñi mun a balancer tradition maanaam aada ak cosaan ak realities yu nekk on the ground fu mu nekk nii te fekk yaaxuñ society because gis nañ yu bari loo xam ne daal society especially modern generation bi ñu ngi xeex traditional beliefs yu bari ci society bi te loolu daf dee mun a andi chaos naka la ñoo mun a balancer loolu fekk yaaxuñ society bi
waaw xam nga ñun dañoo nekk ci mbir mu méttee métti ndax dañoo nekk ci xëccoo xam nga dafa am loo xam ne tam mu ngi existe te mu ngi dunda comme ñun ni ñuy dundee te ñoom lii seen liggéey mooy yàq dafa am ñoo xam ne seen liggéey mooy yàq mooy seytaan su ma ne seytaan nag du benn waay fële waaye nit ci boppam dafay nekk seytaan ok soo ñun suñuy defar ñeneen di yàq dëgg-dëgg dafay nekk lu jafe-jafe fi ne nii am na suñuy aada ak suñuy traditions suñuy culture yoo xam ne yu jëlee woon ca maam ya for exemple yoo xam ne yu baax la moo daan defar moo daan tabax xale yi ndaw yi di jëmbat ci ñoom jom di jëmbat ci ñoom respect yooyu am na opposition am na ñu koy xeex nga xam ne fi ne soo waxatee yooyu rek dañ lay jàpp ne yow nit ku dellu gannaaw nga da ngay ruus sax yow pour ngay wax ci yooyu wala nga def ci yooyu because da ngay bañ mu mel ni yow da nga baag woot te nit fu mu toll dafay bugg a bokk ci ñi nekk ci kanam so loolu bokk na ci li nga xam ne lu dangereux la ci suñ biir society ñun dañoo fekkoon balaaw diine sax ñu am ay values yoo xam ne dañ ko fi doon mooy mag dafay yërëm ndaw dafay respect mag jigéen dañ koy yërëm for exemple jëkkër ak jabar naka lañ war a àndee mag ak ndaw jigéen ak góor am ci suñ niñ magantee sax maanaam nga gis ne sax nit dafay fonk nijaayam donte nijaayam a ko mag nit dafay fonk tantaam donte tantaam a ko mag dégg nga ñu am yeneeni ay kal diw sàngam nii la sant kii nii la sant kon dañoo war a mën a buggante dañoo war a mën a kaf ak réew lu naqaroo ak noonoo warut a nekk seen diggante yii yëpp ay aada la yoo xam ne dañ ko fi fekk ñu di ko dund waaye ñun dañoo doon na yeneeni aada yoo xam ne dañ ko import mu dugg si ci suñ biir society te la ko waral mooy dañoo amalut suñ bopp suñ xam-xamu bopp du ñuy jàngal suñ bopp ci suñ bopp meaning li ñuy jàngee yépp dañ ñu ko importal indil ñu ko maanaam keneen moo ñuy jàngal si te keneen ki lay jàngal lam doon moom la lay jàngal te lam doon bokkut ak yow li nga doon kon il faut nga am njeexit mu am njeexital ci yow ci yow mënoo ci dara
dëgg la
waaw so loolu mooy suñ major problème bi nga xam ne am nañ ko soo demee tey Éthiopie for exemple waxuma ne baax nañ wala bon nañ waaye mosu ñoom mos colonialisme kenn mosul leen a colonise ñoom la ñuy dund noonu bañ xamee seen bopp bañ tey noonu lañ fekk seen bopp noonu la ñuy dunde kenn mënul leen a ceeñ
dëgg la
li tax kenn mënul leen a ceeñ mooy amul benn culture buy dugga si amul beneen xam-xam buy dugga si because ñoom ñooy jàngal seen bopp ci seen bopp soo kenn mënut ci ñoom dara ñun nag comme que suñ jàngaluñ suñ bopp ci suñ bopp keneen a ñuy jàngal kon forcé aadaay keneen culture keneen il faut mu njeexital ñun ci suñu dundin da ngay dem a dem ba pour nga mun ko réussir sax dafay jafe lool fi ne ni mënatuñ koo xeex soo xoolee ci suñ doxin ci suñ coliñ ci suñ lu nekk moom ci loolu la ñuy jël
dëgg la
masalan tey soo jëloon tey jigéen ñi tey for exemple nga gis ne li ëpp ci suñ jigéen ñi tey buggatuñ ni leen yàlla bindee maanaam kawar biñ juddoo kawar gi nga xam ne moom la leen yàlla joxoon pour ñu war koo defar ba mu jekka mu set kóom ko mu rafet buggatuñ ko because keneen ki nga xam ne liñ import si ki ñuy jàngal si bosam lañ buggatuñ suñ weyi buggatuñ suñ xef yi
suñ xefi bët yi
waaw buggatuñ suñ xefi bët yi buggatuñ suñ kola bi because loolu yëpp ki ñu jàngal si moo ñu éem dañoo proud of him waaw ba tax ñun buggatuñ suñ los bosam lañ bugg ko lum ñu def loo ñu def ko waaw moo tax yonent bi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wax nañu ko waxoon na ko ci jamono sahaaba yi ne li ma tiital mooy seen mbir tiit naa ci loolu yéen jullit ñi ñu ne ko lu tax mu ne gaañ ñi nga xam ne ñoo leen jiitu di ngeen leen toppa ci lu ne
ba suñ duggoon ci paxam mbëtt sax da ngeen ci dugg maanaam suñ leen di def loolu leen di lor sax di ngeen ko def ñu ne ko ñooñ ñan la mu ne xam ngeen ko yahuud ak nasaraan mooy ñi leen jiitu te nit ku ne ñaare ki ko jiitu mooy nekk royu waayam waaye nit ku ñor nag du roy léppi ki ko jiitu maanaam ki la jiitu doo roy léppam da ngay roy ci moom li baax bàyyi li nga xam ne mooy li bon waaye ñun loolu moo ñu gaañ fi ne ni maam yi bëggatu ñu tudd leen li maam yi daan wax ak li maam yi daan def kenn bëggatul because ñun ñu dellu gannaaw lañ leen jàppee fàtte ne ñun suñ développement bii ñu amee ñu foog ne am nañ ko suñ advancement bii ñu gëm su taxutoon a foundation yi maam yi kon ñun duñ ci mos a àgg
so yaa imaam léegi démocratie ban rôle la play si yaakaar society because da ngaa dégg léegi ñu bari especially mag yi dañoo wax ne démocratie tax na léegi society bi yàqu na
waaw li ko waral mooy niñ interpréter démocratie moo baaxul démocratie ñu ngi ko interpréter ci benn woor mooy absolute freedom waaw absolute liberty mooy démocratie noonu lañ ko practicer te loolu dafa wrong démocratie mooy nga jël li nga moom baxee ñi ci des liñ moom kenn ku ci ne nañ la jox li nga moom buñ ci wàññi dara te buñ laal lu keneen loolu moo doon cosaanu démocratie waaye biñ ko interpréter ñu ngi ko interpréter absolute freedom waxal lu la neex defal lu la neex maanaam nu la neex sooy wax ndem li ngay wax da nga ko gëm daal sañ nga koo wax donte wax jooju dafay gaañ keneen dafa tanish image keneen yow sañ nga koo wax waaw freedom of speech xam nga démocratie moo jur freedom of speech freedom of belief freedom of expression freedom of religion freedom of everything freedom of li ngay sol sañ ngaa sol lu la neex sañ ngaa dem fu la neex sañ ngaa lekk lu la neex sañ ngaa toog ak ku la neex te loolu du dëgg amut kenn ku am absolute freedom doomu aadama dafa am ku ko fi indi dafa am lu tax mu indi ko fi kon forcé dafa war a am ay tënk-tënk foo xam ne su dafay wax ne fii mooy booda bi fii duma ko passé sañuloo ko passé moo tax ñi nga xam ne ñooy exercise démocratie dëgg dañoo séparate state ak religion dañ koy séparate maanaam state la suñ nekkee ci state lépp luñ bëgg mu am rek ak nuñ ko bëggee rek ak lu mën a yóbbu réew mi rek nuñ foog rek loola nañ ko def religion buñ ko fa tuddoo religion da ngay dugg ci sa biir néeg rek nga def ko mu jeex waaye warut a génn ci mbedd mi religion du génn ci mbedd te religion su fekkee génnut ci mbedd dara dootul baaxati ndax religion mooy total way of life kon doo mun a separate state ak religion abadan because lépp loo xam ne yaa ngi koy wax sa xel dafa war a daj ndax am na lu ci ki la fi indi am na lum ci bëgg lum ci bañ fooy dem ak looy def ak lépp da nga ko war a bàyyi xel waaye buñ demee ba nag ñu jël absolute freedom interpréter ko démocratie kon démocratie dootul mën a
jërëjëf imam time bi jeex na thank you very much lii am na solo waaye suñ viewers yi am na fuñ ñu xooj tey ñu ne fuñ emoon last week ñoom bëggoon nañ ñu continuer
loolu because yaa leen ko dig ba pare tey
waaw viewers yaa ñu xooj de imam am na fuñ stoppoon last week de
of course bari yow yaa ne ma fii ngay tàmbale
waaw point bu am solo la
ma fii ngay déparé
waaye imam
te loolu sax moo ñu doon yóbbu ci lan islam ak politique mooy lan
waaw léegi lu ñoo def mooy xam naa ne bii dinañ ko skip waaye next week
next week du ma fi ne
next week doo fi ne
yes no I'm traveling
da ngaa tukki waaw imam war nañu yóbbu
non dama fii rek laay ne ay baseeg ay dama dem tourner ci biir réew
kon soo ñëwee ñu continuer
bi iznillahi taala
waaw si soobee yàlla kon jërëjëf yàlla nga dem ak jaama ñu ak jaama
amiin yaa rabbi
mbokk yi lii lañ leen amal julde back here tomorrow
inshallah
yes until then bye bye